Yo, yo, what's up, y'all? Just letting Paul's just getting ready. I'm just trying to get the show going so people can join in. Oh, Paul's here. Let me turn up my volume. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? How's it going today? Nice and early.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 a.m. for me is nice and early, but it's,
Oh,
it's it's all good. It's all good. I should have asked before. I was like, are we in the same time zone?
yeah. I mean,
It's all good.
even 9 is pretty early for me. I always struggle for the first like 30 minutes of these streams.
Yeah. Well, I was able to make coffee, so that's good.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna kind of let people join in. Kind of watching your other streams. You said you had some questions about like my thoughts on ChatGPT or AI and stuff. Maybe we could just talk, and then we can jump into just trying to explain what we're going to do today. And
Yeah, that sounds really good. Because I talk to a lot of people who are thinking about like learning to code or just started out, and maybe they don't have like the whole understanding of like the landscape, and they hear like the hype about ChatGPT 4. And I literally had comments of people like saying like, "Oh, there's no point. I quit," or "I don't want to do this anymore." So I want to kind of find out like what are your thoughts and how you think the landscape will change, if it will at all, based on all the stuff that's happening.
yeah, so I mean, I think right now, like, there's a lot of hype around ChatGPT, and it seems really cool when you first use it. But then, like, I've been trying to use it at least once every day for my real work projects, and for the most part, like, I have to just go to the docs anyway. So I'm not finding too much utility from it. Although, I mean, watching your stream last night, I could see how you can use it to like plan a project. And like that was actually really eye-opening for me. Like use ChatGPT to basically help you ask the right questions so that you're on the right path. And hopefully we can actually do that today on the stream to kind of figure out what we're building. But I think it has potential. And I do think that the landscape is going to change. Like we have to kind of change the way we work, but I don't think in terms of like, is it going to replace dev jobs? I think you should worry about that when you start seeing blog posts of people actually getting laid off of like because they're being, replaced by ChatGPT. But I don't know. Have you found like during your actual like day-to-day work, how useful have you found GPT?
I mean, for like my use case, like which is a really interesting, uh, it's not really useful at all, like at least in Strappy's case, because all the data that it has on Strappy, it's all old. It's like version Strappy v3. And so if you try to use it, question specific to what the we have as a product, like it's gonna mess you up. So documentation is still like your best bet. Another example is like I think like I like Remix, and it's also like behind on the knowledge where Remix is at, and also like Next 13, it has no idea all the newer features. So for me, um, if I work with any of those like newer technologies, it's just much easier to go to the docs. But I was wondering like if it's possible to give it context. I've been kind of playing with it where you copy like a part of the documentation, you put it into your prompt and say, based on this, how should I approach? But at that point, I'm like already looking at the documentation, so it's like no point. Um, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I could see in the future you give it your repo for work and then you ask it questions and it trains its model based on your Git repo and it can actually like implement stuff directly into your code base. Like that would be really cool if I could just say, I need you to add a certain feature to this certain page and then it just like gives you the Git commit. Like that would blow my mind if that actually happens, which I don't know when it's going to happen. I think that's the real question. Like, is that going to happen in a year? Is that going to happen in 10 years? Um, but for the most part, I think ChatGPT is just like a really, really sophisticated search engine, and I think it has potential, like maybe replacing Google or Bing, stuff like that, where it's like instead of saying I'm going to go Google it, people are like I'm going to go use ChatGPT to figure this out. But yeah, I think what you said, they need to get up to date on the latest data, or else it's not really that useful for a dev job, in my opinion.
yeah, and even then, like I was thinking, like you still need to have a knowledge in your domain. You still have to be a developer because, like, I can't tell, like, let's say my sister who's not a developer at all, I can't tell her, hey, build me something useful with ChatGPT 3, like as a product. Like she won't know where to start. I mean, she doesn't even have a dev environment set up, like, and so I think um, it's gonna take a bit. The one thing that I do see is that people who refuse to use or learn the AI tools, they're gonna kind of be left behind because you're gonna be outperformed by anybody who's like, let's say, very competent and prompting in terms of being able to quickly get answers to their questions. So I do feel that part of it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to think what else. What else is interesting about it?
One thing that I thought about it, like, I haven't looked into it, but I guess OpenAI is going to have this concept of plugins where you could either integrate plugins that somebody else built, or you could probably build your own plugins. So I was like, oh, is that like similar to when like iPhone first came out and they had like the iPhone store and people could create iPhone apps? Is that going to be like a thing where an opportunity for developers to kind of make something cool?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely seeing a bunch of like random AI stuff pop up. Like people are really building nice user interfaces that solve really specific problems that use the ChatGPT API, and I think that's really cool. Like I think people are worried that it's going to take jobs, but it's really opening a lot of doors of like building new products. And I think people focus too much on the tech side of things. Like if you look at a company, the tech is just a small sliver of the pie, right? You have communications with other team members, you have the marketing, you have all this other stuff. So like, sure, it might make the technical side a little bit easier, but I think it's going to actually just create a lot more jobs, different
Yeah,
type of jobs.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think though, like things that can be automated, like will. And so I was kind of listening to somebody talk saying um, it'll definitely like affect the industry by moving things around. But somebody was saying that like QA testers might be affected, like once a lot of that stuff can be automated much easier. But even then, like, I don't know. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are you ready to just maybe start playing around and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
pair
yeah,
programming?
yeah, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna give everyone a walkthrough, like what the plan is today. If we
Yeah, yeah.
actually achieve what we're doing, I don't know,
We
but
could take bets at the beginning to see what people think.
yeah, give a thumbs up if you think we'll actually build this successfully, or if we're just give up after 2 hours. So the idea is I wanted to introduce everyone on the stream to what pair programming is, if they haven't heard about it. And I don't know if Paul, you've worked doing pair programming at all, but
Unfortunately, like the companies I work for, there was like like thing that we do, and
yeah,
even in like my role at Strappy, like I work as a developer advocate, so I'm not directly on the engineering team. So a lot of the programming I do is just based on my own like research and stuff like that, and asking questions, but not like sitting next to someone. Um,
gotcha. So in the private chat of this StreamYard, if you could find it, I put an extension to the Git repo. The idea is I wanted to try to do strict pairing, where basically you have like a timer that's running, and for 5 or 10 minutes, there's one person who's designated to drive. So they're the person who's like typing on the keyboard and using their mouse, right? And the goal of the driver is like you literally just type what the other person tells you, and you can kind of like give feedback or ask for directions or stuff if you're lost. And the other person is basically something called a navigator, and they will kind of set out the high level goals, like what you're doing in that 10-minute session. So, for example, if I'm driving and you're navigating, you'd be like, okay, Cody, let's start with asking ChatGPT, how do you build a Chrome extension? And then I go type that up, and we kind of just keep going from there. That's the goal, if that makes sense. And it will take a little bit of time to get used to. It's kind of weird that you have to keep like switching code and switching your screens. At work, typically we have one person's computer, and we like everyone controls that computer. I just don't like sharing my computer with other people, to be honest. It sounds like a security thing, but it's so
yeah,
far what I explained. Does that make sense?
yeah. So you don't like using like like the VS Code extension that allows you to do the coding at the same time. It's not a big fan.
Yeah, because especially when you have like other things that you have to interact with, like for example, with a Chrome extension, you're going to have to basically set it up with your
Oh
Chrome.
yeah. That makes sense.
And plus, you have typically your VS Code set up in the way that you like the code. Well, I guess VS Code, you can share that, but yeah. So if you can clone that repo,
Yeah.
and then I'll get like a timer going on my phone. If you want to also, if you're able to talk and clone that, if you want to kind of give an overview of like what the goal is of what we're trying to build.
Yeah. So I think we were thinking of creating. Hold on, my alarm clock went up again. Creating a Chrome extension where we're able to copy and paste text from a website and then have ChatGPT summarize it. I feel that was like the idea we talked about, and I guess we could see how far we get. And prior to the stream, what we talked about, like, I don't think either one of us built a Chrome extension. And so the goal was not to do any research and literally just trust the power of AI and see, how far it will get us. Yeah, that was the plan.
But we can also try the mob time, the VS Code extension. I just haven't really used it.
Yeah. I haven't tried it either. Yep. I'm like the slowest typer when I have to talk. It's like so annoying.
Hopefully no one else joins this. If someone joins this, we're gonna have to like take it off screen. I sent
Oh,
another link to the timer thing I'm talking about. So this is actually what we do at work every day for the most part. Is sometimes we'll have like a pair programming session where you have two people. So I add like Cody and Paul. And you come in here and you say, we want to rotate every 7 minutes. And when you click start turn, it basically designates someone as the driver, someone as a navigator. You can move this around if you want. But then you start your turn and then you just start trying to code together. And then when your timer is up, you're supposed to just stop everything you're doing. And since we're working on two separate machines, I would just like do a git add, git commit, and push so that I
yeah.
can pull the changes that you've been working on.
Yeah. And
That's
then
the idea.
for just like simplicity, we're just going to push everything to main, which,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. Sounds good.
Cool.
Let me check the other link quick. Like my child is going to be like looking at all these different screens.
Yeah.
it's fine.
Like I said, if we come out of this stream after 2 hours building nothing, I mean that's fine. At least we had some fun learning.
we're definitely gonna learn stuff. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very useful learning experience for sure. Yeah, but okay, I think I'm ready. Yeah. Let me go to the private chat for the other link though. Here we go. All right, nice. So the navigator talks about what to do, and you as the driver will drive by coding, and then after whatever this time is, we switch.
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
All right, yeah, let's just get started. So you are navigating. You just tell us what we're doing.
Yeah, so I would start first by going to ChatGPT 4 and then asking a question. And we could do it like the same way that I've been asking questions. Say like, give the context like you are a senior developer and you're helping me build a project. You're helping me build a Chrome extension.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we give context to ChatGPT, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I like saying like you're a senior developer who builds like Chrome extensions. Just like, I think like putting that in, it just kind of helps it to like frame itself of, not to like to be more specific. And then next, you could say like what we want to build.
Let's see. So I'm working with another. You think adding senior like changes the response to make it less like?
I wonder, yeah, because like I've done stuff like explain to me things like I'm 5, and it sometimes it just gives like terrible things. So like I would literally tell like ChatGPT, you are the senior developer who specializes in building Chrome extensions. Like yeah.
I could try that, but I don't know how to build a Chrome extension. I'm a senior developer,
I mean, like
and I want to.
tell, like you literally telling Chat GPT to be the senior developer. So like say you are a senior developer
Oh, you
and you're
are.
helping me build a Chrome extension, and you are helping me build a Chrome extension.
And you are helping me build a Chrome extension. Got you. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, and then next is like what we want to do. So, and then now you described we want to have a Chrome extension where we're able to copy and paste text from a website and use Chat GPT, 4 to summarize it for us.
So is ChatGPT 4, is that something I have to upgrade for? We might have to use 3.
Oh no, say like 3 is fine. Yeah, I'm just saying, whatever.
Okay.
Just what the cool kids say nowadays, but it's perfectly fine. And then you could just ask, like, instead of like, I usually ask like, before giving me a response, ask me some questions around the thing. I don't think we should do that, but you could just say, how would I start building this plugin? Like something just very generic, and then we could like dive deeper into that.
Let's see what it gives us. So it says, get the API key first. To build a Chrome extension, you'll need to have a good understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You also need to install the necessary tools such as text editor. Okay, create a manifest file. That is a JSON file that describes your Chrome extension and includes information such as your name, version number, and permission needed to your extension. Create a content script. So yeah, where do you want to go from here?
So I would ask it like a follow-up question, like, what is the manifest JSON file and what is important? Like, why is it important? And can you provide code example of a bare bone Chrome extension? I'm also tempted to be like, give us the links for the docs, but I think it'll defeat the purpose and make things much easier.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to just try to do everything in open.
Yeah, 100%.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so let's. Well, you're navigating. So what should I do?
So let's see what it spins out. So it gives us a bunch of details on like what it is, and I would say, what are the steps to starting your Chrome extension? Show me code example, because we know we need a manifest file. We got that far.
Do you think I should copy this into our repo?
Yeah, you give that a try. It might, because there's a lot of extra stuff, and I don't know how much of that stuff is necessary or not necessary. Actually, ask like, show me a bare minimum example to have a working Chrome extension. Provide code example.
Show me a bare minimum example
to
get a working Chrome extension. Watch it just type the exact same thing.
So yeah, I gave like a smaller. Yeah, so we could copy that. See, this is like pretty awesome, because like, if you have no coding experience, this is completely useless for you, because even then it's like, do you need to have an index.js file? Like or what else do you need? Yeah, so we could start with that. Just copy that.
It looks like it also says we need to like load in a content script JS.
Yeah, and I think that could be like any JS file. So I think like the idea is you have that manifest file, and then you literally build your Chrome extension with like HTML and CSS. So you would have like index HTML file, and then you would have your JavaScript file. So yeah, let's go there.
All right, just go ahead and we'll make this sloppy and put everything in the root. Something like that.
Yeah, and so the next step is like, how do you test it? So you could ask like ChatGPT, how would I test this initial plugin in my Chrome window?
Go to Chrome extensions, make sure that the developer mode toggle switch in the top right corner is on. Okay. Developer toggle, is that on? It's not. Let's turn that on. And then you can go here and say load unpack button in the top left corner. Okay. I'm guessing I have to go and do the folder directory, which is this one. Click the select folder button. Your extensions should now be loaded and active in Chrome. You should see it listed in Chrome extensions page, which we did. Navigate to a web page and test your extensions functionality. Okay.
So,
Has
we
some
have an error
errors.
too.
Gave us old code, huh?
So yeah, so change. That is like interesting because like without looking at the docs, how will we do that? Paste that example back and say, or paste like I'm getting this error. Is there like an updated manifest file that we should be using? I would make a logical assumption that if 2 doesn't work, maybe there's manifest version 3, which we could just try.
We might have to end up going to the docs.
Yeah, yeah.
I am curious. So my timer went off. We're supposed to commit and switch, but the entire context of our discussion is in my ChatGPT window. Do you think that's an issue, or can we just like?
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, we could just like, I'll just look at the screen that you're sharing. Or, I mean, if I have to share the screen, then I would have to like, I mean, yeah.
Current version of the manifest file is version 3 and is recommended that you use this version in your Chrome extensions. Here's an example.
Thanks, ChatGPT. Why didn't you say that beforehand? Could have saved me some time. Pretty sure the docs would show the recent thing.
All right, let's I'll try it one more time and then we'll switch.
Yeah.
So how do I guess I update it. There's no errors anymore. That's good. How do I use it? I'll go ahead and pin this thing, and if I run this, it should print a console log, hopefully. Oh, it says hi.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to commit what I have, and then we're going to switch screens. So our initial Chrome extension, that does nothing.
No, it does something. It shows up. It shows up in the Chrome thing. It's a good first step.
That is true. I should be positive. Let's go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And you are welcome to share your screen.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I need to cd into the folder. Get fetch. I'll switch screens just a moment. Get all. All right, yeah, I see the changes. Let me share my screen, present button, share screen, my entire screen. Let's go this one. Right. Now I'm sharing. You could probably never ready. Add it to the stream. I'll probably won't like. Do I not see the? Hold on a second. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I have to
Perfect.
manually give you permission, I think. Right,
Oh, no worries. Yeah, cool. Like I think I see it now. Nice. So we got this code so far, and so I am ready for the next instructions.
Okay. I'm gonna increase the timer to like 10 minutes. I don't know
Sounds
if
good.
like 7 was enough, and then I'll start navigating you. All right, so we have our extension. I would say, how do I make my let's ask ChatGPT. I guess you have to give it context. So try giving
Yeah.
it the same context if I'm building a Chrome extension.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have a basic project with the manifest JSON and a pop-up HTML. How do I make it console log to the page or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you are a Chrome extension building expert. That should be give me expert advice on building it. I started a Chrome extension project, and I have a manifest.json file. Let's see what else I have. JSON file, and then we just have the pop-up HTML manifest JSON file and a pop-up HTML file. And let's see here. And
I wonder if you should also just copy and paste our manifest to it so it kind of has context.
yeah, that's a good idea. Content script.js file.
And could you zoom in a little bit? I think
Oh, yeah.
we're doing a 720p because I have like the free version of
Yeah,
StreamYard.
that's perfect. Let me know if that's better for everybody. Let me zoom in here as well. See here, yeah, manifest. Here we go. It's giving us instructions. I guess we need to create HTML put some stuff in there. Then
Cool.
it shows us to have a button with an action based on the ID. So let me, while it's giving the rest of the response, I'm just going to blindly copy and paste this. Like the cool thing I wanted to do is, can a non-developer use ChatGPT 3 to build something like interesting?
Yeah,
there'll be the question. So we have that, and then we have our JavaScript, which we already have. Hello world, but whatever. I'm going to copy and paste the exact same thing. So you need to create a new file called popup.js. So I'm just going to reference the one that we have. I'm going to rename it just for the simplicity, whatever. Just so the code jives with what we have in pop-up HTML, because I'm linking to it. Yep, here we are. And so next is saying add a event listener. Just copy this baby. That's gonna fire this function. So basic JavaScript. Click the function, and we should have a console log button clicked. So that should work. And now you have a basic Chrome extension set up with a pop-up and content script. Here's a summary. So we created the manifest JSON file. We have a pop-up HTML, which is like our entry point. Then we have our script that I renamed to pop-up script.
I might say it seems like ChatGPT is differentiating between pop-up JS and content script JS. I wonder if they're two different things.
I think it just needs to have I'm guessing a JavaScript file, and it could be named whatever it is. Not anything in particular. For content script, not cancel. Let's see, loads. Do I have to go? Manifest. What they are, the JavaScript. Oh yeah, you're right. Could not load manifest.
Yeah,
because I think. Hold on a second. Let me just double check here. In the manifest file, I'll be referencing. I'm just gonna do this just to see.
Yeah.
JS file. Because I guess you do need to have an entry file. So that works. And then I always forget, like, what the hell do you pin extension, which is a goddamn stupid thing that you show. Because it's not showing me at the top. But hold on, details. This is like really dumb question, but how the hell do you pin? I thought it's like you got to go to extensions, right?
On mine, I have like a little extensions button.
Yeah, let me go.
It's like on the far right next to the show side panel thing.
Nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, let me try to see on mine. Maybe I have a different version of Chrome or something.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll go to settings. I think I could don't go to the extent. I mean, you have it here, but how the hell do you pin it? Pin the extension.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah, that's so crazy. Like I thought that it has to be like here on the right. What the hell? New tab, download. Am I blind? Like under pressure, the pressure is real.
Don't
Like,
worry.
what the
Like I
hell's
can't even. The thing is, I can't see your screen because the StreamYard logo is blocking it. So I'm like,
Oh yeah. Settings,
but
unpin.
but it looks like a puzzle piece. It's like a little puzzle piece with like
Oh,
a
here you go. Thank you so much. That's what it was. I thought that
yeah
was like another extension. I didn't click on it. So my
yeah.
extension, I believe that's what we're working on. Perfect. So we got that. All right, nice. We have it showing up, and I guess you can't make it bigger. Like click me, and in theory, you should have console log. So let's inspect this. Where did it open the screen? Anywhere? Inspect. Oh, it opened it like in my completely different screen here. Let me bring this up here. Console, content script loaded from popup.js, but
You clicked the button, right? I didn't see you do that.
yeah, let me do that again. So click me 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it works. I guess I didn't click the button. You were right. Good eye. So button clicked. We did it. So it's basically basic JavaScript and HTML. So what's next?
Yeah. So my goal was like, can the extension just parse the current page we're looking at and get us the HTML text, right? If you were to load up like a blog post on like dev.to or something, can we get the extension to at least extract the text from the page? Does that sound like a good next step?
Yeah, that I think that's like the most important step to figure out on functionality. So I should ask ChatGPT 3, how would I identify which page I am on using my Chrome extension in order to in order in order to be able to parse the content so I can later summarize with chat GPT. So you could use a window location, object for information about the URL. As an example, you can define the current page, update your content script. And I should have not messed with it because now like everything's inside the pop-up, but whatever, it's fine. So content script loaded, current function parse page content, get query selector, all the paragraphs.
Yeah, I would say let's just copy that function because we don't care about the URL, I don't think. So like the parse page content, copy that, and then the code below where it gets invoked in console logged. Let's just put that in our extension, reload it, and try again.
Yeah. So hold on a second. Current URL. So you're saying we don't need the current URL? Yep. So blah blah blah.
And
Yep.
put lines 26 and 27 inside of the callback listener when we click the button.
Callback listener here.
Yeah, so like line 7.5.
Yep. I'll remove the button click for now. So here we go. So basically, when we click the thing, it's gonna fire this function that's gonna run this code below. So let's give it a try. Extension. Let's refresh. Let's check it out. Click my button. Let's inspect. I'll bring my window back here. It's weird how it opens up. This is my first Chrome extension. So it's only literally looking at the HTML of our current file. So it's not looking inside. It's not getting context of like I mean, it's literally just pointing to our own.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's probably some security stuff baked in that you'd have to like do something different. I will say that the timer went off, so if you want to commit what you have and we'll switch again. But I'm guessing
10 minutes goes by fast under pressure.
You get used to it. It's like right when you're in the groove, it breaks. Your timer goes off.
Get add get commit message get push why would it return for?
Oh, I have to give you access to that repo to push.
Oh, no worries.
What is your handle on GitHub?
It should be my name here. I'll put it in the private chat. And then my long ass last name.
Yeah, and someone in the chat, Voided Name, he's a Discord user who's really active. He's basically saying that there might be some additional like permission things you have to set up, or there might be some other way that you have to grab the DOM, but we'll figure that out with ChatGPT. You said it's Paul. Oh, you put it in the private chat. I see.
Yeah. My long ass last name. That's really hard to spell. I mean, everybody knows my last name because like I think it's on my Twitter, but it's just the spelling that's the hard part.
How do you pronounce it?
Bratslavsky. Yeah.
Bratslavsky. Okay.
It took me a minute to be able to say it comfortably also, so I totally get it.
All right, you should have push access. I just added you. Well, it says you have a pending invite, so you might have to go and like accept it first.
Good Lord. Good Lord. I love GitHub. I just hold on a second. Pending invite. You have unread notification. Yes, sounds good. Except, oh, nice. I was automatically like logged in, but the worst part about GitHub is the two-factor. I mean, it's not the worst part, but it's like the two-factor authentication, and sometimes computer and my phone will be somewhere completely different, and then I'll be like, oh, I gotta get up. I gotta go find the thing. But luckily, everything was close by today, so already pushed, ready to go.
Cool.
I like this. You get the hard part.
Yeah, but you got to tell me what to type in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to stop share, I guess I could probably.
Yeah,
I think I can remove you actually. And all right, I'll go ahead and start. I'm driving. All right, let me pull your changes, and then what are the next steps?
So I guess the next step based on the last message I had was you could type, we're looking to parse the content of a currently open Chrome tab in our Chrome extension, how would we accomplish this? Provide code examples with comments. I like to say with comments just so half the time I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So it's good to have comments explaining stuff. So this is the Chrome tabs API, which is part of
Interesting.
Chrome.
Get the current tab. Use the tab ID to get the tab HTML content. Interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if we should ask a follow-up question to explain what the Chrome like object is, or the Chrome like yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. It's you pass it current window true and active true. So that'll give you the currently active tab you're on.
Oh, nice.
When we use the tab ID to execute the script to get the HTML content of the tab using the document body inner HTML property, the script is executed using the. Yeah, so it looks like. I mean, yeah. What do you want me to do?
I was gonna just I get more like context around like what Chrome is. Is it part of like the Chrome extension like development stuff, or like is it just you know, like what is it? Like let's say we have no idea. We know it has some useful methods that you could use inside your Chrome extension, but yeah, it's
It's a global object that provides access to the various APIs that your
so that makes
extension can
sense.
use. So yeah, it's just some global they give you, I guess.
Yeah, so
Cool.
anything useful that we want to do in a Chrome extension probably has some sort of method inside Chrome that could help us with that. Nice, cool. So yeah, let's go take that code, the code that it provided, and see if we could use it in our
Yeah, so instead of parsing the contents, maybe we could just put it here. That'll get the current. This is a lot. This code's kind of sloppy, but should I just put this logic inside of this?
yeah, let's see like what that
Recycle
will
all.
do. Man,
Wait, what?
pair programming, so much fun, so much fun. This is great. This is nice. I think the only pair programming I did is like very like unstructured, like, hey, I'm doing this. Can you help? And it's like, sure, like what are you doing? It's like, but I like this, like taking turns.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice that like you have the time limit. And I honestly like, regardless, like obviously you're a way better developer than I am, but this makes it so much easier because I know that I'm only gonna be struggling for 10 minutes and not even struggling because you're here to guide me. So I like this like back and forth that it gives people like opportunity to do stuff. And at the same time, like if I do get stuck, like, you know, I could ask you questions regardless if I'm the driver or the navigator. Like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's though the main benefit of pair programming is usually in your normal workflow, you'll work for like days on a feature and then you'll make a pull request and someone has to go and like review that, right? When you're pair programming, someone's literally reviewing every line that you type. And so there's really not a need to like do this whole like, oh, I'm going to do a pull request and then I have to wait 8 hours for someone to go and review it and then get it merged in. Yeah. What are the next steps you think you want me to do? Because I saw that they had this code thing and I just decided to put this snippet here. And I'm wondering if this is even right. I kind of just started changing stuff and I probably should have asked ChatGPT.
Yeah. So let's try it out, see what happens if you have an error. So let's like run the extension.
Okay. Let me go to like a dev.to post.
Yeah. And
just do that one, I guess. So if I run this, it should do something. Oh, wait, I have to reload it, don't I?
yeah. And we have Chrome tabs that and it has the use. I need to get tabs shown. Blah, blah. Chrome tab execute script is not a function. So I would literally copy and paste that error and then ask ChatGPT, I'm trying to run the code, but I get this error. What should I do? Basically, anyone learning to code, continue to learn to code, because apparently ChatGPT can't just do things by itself. You still need to know what the hell you're doing. And half the time, like, you know, would have been interesting, just as an idea, to have somebody use ChatGPT versus somebody using the docs. And you put a timer and you see who gets the farthest. That was an interesting video to make.
That would be cool.
And then use something like, just to be a jerk, use something like brand new, like all the beta features of Next.js 13. Like, it'd just be obnoxious.
Okay, so first of all, it said you may not have permissions in your manifest extension.
Yeah, so let's ask it, how would I give permissions inside the manifest JSON file to allow access to be able to use Chrome tabs API or whatever that was called.
Oh, permissions tabs. It's simple enough. Once you added the tabs permission. Okay, I got 3 minutes left on my turn. Let's just go ahead and add that in. And you want me to try it again?
Yeah, let's see if that fixes things. Also, I wonder if you like hit the refresh of the. I don't know if like what parts of the code get automatically refreshed. Because so go back one window,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's that refresh icon in the click that, see if it's does something, and then check it again. So we're not getting errors anymore, so that's nice. So let's go click the button, and then
Nothing.
let's console log. Aren't we console logging it at the moment? Oh yeah, you have the console log below, so there's nothing happening. Do you get any errors?
Oh, yeah. I still can't find. So one thing looking at this code, I do notice that we have tabs here that was passed to us. Like you see here, it says tabs.
Yeah.
I wonder if we just use that instead of Chrome's tabs again.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just trying stuff out.
Yeah, and then we could.
I also don't know if I need to like fully refresh the page so it loads like a new extension.
Yeah, we could try that out too. Errors, tab execute script. So that's not working.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I would just ask the follow-up question, just paste the error again and say, we're still getting this error. This is what we have in code. This is not working. Actually, Chrome tabs. Wait. Did we call it like?
They said that Chrome tabs execute script is no longer available. You can use Chrome scripting execute script. Here's an example.
Nice. Let's try that. And that's like the thing with like ChatGPT that I'm noticing, is that you can't just trust it, and you have to like do what we're doing, play with it, see the errors you get, and then try to figure out. And like the argument I would make, at this point, is that using ChatGPT 3 or 4 by itself, it's without referencing the docs, it's not gonna be the best experience, because you can't tell right off the bat what's old, what's new, what works, what doesn't work.
It's almost like you need to keep asking it like twice, like, okay, rewrite it again.
Or 3 times or 4 times. Yeah, 100%. And again, like if someone doesn't know any coding, like any of these tools are completely useless. You're not going to be able to create something productive. And I'm calling suspect on people that are like, oh, I built a whole business overnight using ChatGPT 3 with a website and a SaaS product. It's like, get the hell out of here. You're going to do none of those things.
Yeah, I mean, like you're even watching me, like I have to be able to understand that code they gave me, where in the code that I have do I need to go and replace that? Because it didn't even tell you. It just gave you a script.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to have context of like where do you replace stuff. I ran it again. Can I read property of undefined Chrome execute script? All right, my timer's up. I'm gonna commit, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna wish you luck.
um,
Over here, so I'll say attempting to get the extension to parse the DOM. Has anyone in chat made a extension before? If so, don't leave us hanging. Give us some hints.
yeah. Lifeline. We like lifeline. I guess like, I mean, like experiment here is just use, chat GPT exclusively, but I'm assuming like the docs would have helped us along the way. And I guess, if anybody knows any helpful tips without us going to the documentation, let us know because we would like to see how far we could get with help of our friends. Because ChatGPT apparently is not helping us at all right now.
I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer again. You got 10 minutes driving. Actually, let me pause your timer real quick. So just to let you guys know, anyone who's joined late to the stream, we are trying to use ChatGPT to, like, we're exclusively only using ChatGPT to get information about how to build a Chrome extension. So we're not trying to go to any documentation. We're just relying 100% on ChatGPT. And the extension we're trying to build is something that parses the current page you're on, takes all of the data, like if you're on a blog post, and it's supposed to run that data through ChatGPT to give us a summary of like what the blog post is. All right, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So what do you want me to do? I'm driving. Am I telling you what to do, or I'm already confused?
I'm navigating, so I'm telling you. So
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't remember what the error was. I would say copy and paste it into ChatGPT in
This
Chrome scripting. Oh wait,
here is my current code. Here's the error I am getting. Let's see here. Copy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Pasting stuff in the wrong window. Please, because you got to be polite to your AI overlords, provide a solution.
yeah, you need to start saying thank you after it gives us
Oh,
results.
that's right. Damn, I'm so rude. Please. Looks like you're trying to use Chrome script, execute script, and Chrome tab query inside a content script. However, the Chrome scripting and Chrome tabs API are not directly accessible within the content script. Here's the solution. Remove the event listener, parse page function from your content script file as they're not needed there. Hold on a second. Are we? No, wait. Okay. Just gonna check in here. Let's see here. Okay, so update your Pop.js also include the click event listener and parse page content function. Let's see here. Let's copy this. Update your Pop.js the click event listener, parse page content. So we want to remove event listener page part of function. So let me just paste this like this. Copy and paste from ChatGPT. Like what could possibly go wrong? And then let's permissions, tabs, and scripting. So make sure to include necessary permissions to your manifest JSON file. Permissions, manifest file. They got that, tabs and scripting. With these changes, your extension should work without any errors, and you should see an extended content logged into Pop Console. Then you click the button. Okay, let's give it. You want to dev.to, right?
Yeah, dev.to.
Tricks sounds good. Let's open an extension. Let's click me. I should probably like reload it. That would probably make sense.
It's funny how half the work that we've done in the stream was because it gave us old code.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like interesting. So no error there. We reload it. Let's try out here.
And make sure you have your DevTools open before you click the
Yeah,
button.
inspect console. That's probably from somewhere else. Let's clear that one so we're not bothered by it. Let's click. Oh, you son of a gun.
See if we got some errors.
Of course you did. Chrome runtime last error.
Could you zoom in a little bit?
Yes. So console log object. So I'm assuming is this means that we're trying to console log on like I don't know. Let me just
Chrome runtime last error.
Yes.
What is it? It's saying that it's not defined?
It's just saying object, which
oh.
Does that mean that we're
try either stringifying it, like JSON.stringify.
Yep.
It'd probably be like an object with a billion things on it.
Yeah, that's probably, let's try that. Back, reload. Again. Click me, nothing happens. Of course, we have error central. That doesn't work either. That's kind of interesting. I'm just gonna do like Chrome runtime. Let me just like return Chrome, see what the hell we have there. And but then if this doesn't exist, like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, we're getting there, so I'm kind of curious why we weren't able to see the contents. Nope.
Actually, go back to there. On the bottom, it said cannot access contents of URL.
Oh, hold on. Cannot access content of URL. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that. Just take the points from your website. So it means that we are getting to somewhere. Oh. And what the hell did it go? Tricks to cannot access content. Extension manifest must request permission to access this host. So should I ask Chat? Let me just bring this back. ChatGPT about how to request permission.
Yeah, go ahead. That's cool.
Yeah, so let me. Let's see here. Here your encounter is related to the permissions in your manifest JSON file. To fix this, you need to host permission field with the value all URLs. Yeah, I am literally like, as fun as like, I like what you said on my stream, like about ChatGPT has like glorified or overhyped like better way to Google things. But the fact that it has like it gives you not enough information, and then you do have to fail and then have the ability to understand what the hell you're doing and then ask follow-up questions, where I guarantee you if we just used the docs, we would have made so much progress. I'm just saying, as
Yeah.
my initial observation.
Someone is saying, someone in the chat said this is definitely increasing productivity 10 times. And my response was, I could have cloned a Git repo that has an example extension and we could have been like done with this.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But that was not the challenge. It's for all the haters out there who, not haters, but all the people that think that all of our jobs going to be replaced with AI. But the state of this, so HTTPS. Oh, I guess I gotta add this instead of all URLs. Makes sense. Yeah, so anybody worried, I think keep up your learning, keep up your studying. Don't quit. Yeah, but it's kind of crazy that, like, I would never think of someone being like, oh, let me watch some ChatGPT YouTube videos. Oh no, it's the end of the world. I shouldn't learn to code. And I talked to a bunch of people that stopped learning to code recently. They were new to it because they were just like, oh, there's no point, like, because of AI. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And the fact that people are making that decision, that's scary for me. It's like, because they don't have enough knowledge to kind of see the limits of where we at. And that's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to remind yourself that this stuff is always so slow to be adopted. Like, if you think about self-driving cars, like we've had the technology for quite a while, right? But what percentage of cars are actually self-driving? Like,
Yeah.
very, very little. Like, you have like Tesla, maybe like one other brand or something. So, like, stuff takes a long time to actually replace anything, and usually it also just generates more jobs in the meantime.
Okay. So this is like interesting because we don't get any errors, but we also don't get any console logs. But then again, and we wouldn't get a console log here because I'm an idiot, because we need to do this inspect literally, because I think this is showing the console log for the website. No, still no console log there either. Oh no, there is. Yes, we made progress, Cody. We
Wait,
made
what?
progress.
How come it's not? What did I miss? What did I miss? Is this a
So
different Chrome tab?
the reason this Chrome tab was for this website that I'm looking at in this. So what I needed to do, I literally need to inspect my plugin. So when I just opened Inspector tool, it was referencing dev.to window, but I needed to open Inspector for our plugin. And so now we have our content being parsed, which is fantastic. So yeah, I would say that's after like painstakingly asking follow-up question to ChatGPT and getting random responses, we were able to get there. Like, so it's a win. So
Nice.
for yeah, AI for the win. So what's next?
Let me check the timer because I think it might have. Yeah, timer's up. So you want to commit, and then we'll
Yeah.
switch. So how did you open the? You just right-clicked on your extension little pop-up.
Yeah,
And then
literally.
said
Yeah,
inspect?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Get add, get commit message, parsing HTML, over push. Already. So exciting.
Cool. Go ahead and show my screen. Yeah, for those watching, sorry, I'm using like a free version of StreamYard, so 720p is all you get. But I need to figure out how to actually just use OBS and like
Dude,
do this collaboration stuff.
OBS is good. The issue I have with it, when something goes wrong, the amount of time that it takes to fix it, sometimes, so you can't be like,
Right.
I'm going to stream like at 11. Let me jump on at like 10:59. That's not something you should do with the OBS. Where with this, it was like so easy for me to join, even though like I woke up literally at 2 minutes before the stream. So if if I was using OBS, forget it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. For me, OBS works once you have it like set up properly. You don't touch it. Like I just usually say start
Yeah,
streaming. But as far as collaboration with other people, I've never kind of went down that path.
yeah, I hear that's a big pain.
All right, so you are navigating.
All right, so we are parsing our text. I guess the next step would be to ask Chat GPT-3 how to integrate OpenAI text completion inside our Chrome extension to parse or to, well, not parse, to summarize text, because we're already getting it inside my extension there. Perfect.
So is text completion basically like an API for what we're seeing here?
Yeah, and it's like from OpenAI. And I don't know if you have access to OpenAI.
Yeah, I have an account.
Nice. Okay. Because I could create an API token also. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Keep trying to like, build little projects integrating and finding cool use cases for OpenAI.
Yeah, have you seen my project that I worked on that generates like icons?
No, I haven't looked at that one yet. I'll have to check it out.
At
Sounds
least it's
cool.
the OpenAI Dolly stuff. So I'll have to show you that after this.
Nice.
If we finish this. All right, so this is get an API key from OpenAI. So I'm gonna do that on another tab because I'm kind of
Yeah.
worried they don't hide keys. Let me just figure out how to do that. You know what? How do you actually log into this? Where's our
I
login button?
listen. What I do is like do it off screen, but just search OpenAI API keys, and I think it'll literally take you to the window. But yeah, I can't figure out how to log in either. I have to search like OpenAI API keys.
That's crazy. You make a website and you don't have like a
I think they do it just to troll people. They're like, you're not in the know if you don't know how to freaking log in.
for real.
Yeah.
All right, create a new secret key, and I will go ahead copy it. Well, here's the issue. You can't just put that secret key directly in your extension, right? Because now everyone has access to abuse your API.
Yeah. So I would ask a follow-up question. How do you set options or configurations inside a Chrome extension before getting that far? That's a great point you made.
And we might have to end up doing like a proxy server that protects this secret key. So say, how would I
How would I
really,
add user options or settings to my Chrome extension? And I feel like they gotta have like their like a data storage, maybe we'll like store it somewhere, but how secure is it like inside? How would I add user options for settings to my Chrome? Yeah, I just start there.
yeah, I'm going to assume that the Chrome extension is going to live on the client. So like the only way to secure the API key we'd have to spin up an express server that kind of prevents it. Dang, it gave us a lot of code this time, huh? Do you care if I if I like clarify the question and say, where would I store this
Yeah.
private open API key?
Yeah.
How and where should I store this private open API key so that my users cannot abuse the... But I feel like it's going to say store the key in your extension's background script. You can store the key as a variable in your background script, which is not accessible to users. However, this approach is not recommended as the key is stored in plain text and can be accessed by anyone with access to your code. Probably not good. Use Chrome storage API. You can store your API key encrypted.
That's interesting
But
idea.
how would we unencrypt it and send it back? Use a server-side component. You can build a server-side component that handles requests to your private. I mean, I personally, this is what
Like
I
that
would
approach.
do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do not hard code the API key in your code. Store the API key in an encrypted format. Use a different API key for each user. Monitor usage. Rotate your keys.
Yeah. Good tips. Good tips.
So, I mean, you are navigating, but I will say that this is the approach I would probably take.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, yep. Let's go with that one. Is it will add like time, but that's fine. But it's better to show like the right way of thinking about stuff.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a hard cutoff at some point?
No, I don't. I don't have one. And I'll be curious to see how to do this because I'm more like still like more of a front end, slowly transitioning to like full stack. So it'll be cool to see how like the right way to create a proxy server to be able to do something like this.
Sure. And I wonder if I just do an npm init here and start putting random files, will those be bundled into my extension or not? Like, I don't want all this express logic in node code to be pulled into my extension. Like,
Probably, I would probably like create a folder.
oh yeah, I'll do extension, and then I'll say server. Hold on. So you've worked with Express a little bit, right?
A little bit like a while ago. Interestingly, where I work, Strappy, they use Koa, which I mean is slightly different, but it's made by the same like guys that made Express. The difference is, I guess, everything is like a middleware, and they use async await more. And instead of having like, was it like in Express, you always have request response. In Koa, you just have like CTX where everything just sits. And um, but you know,
I haven't
yeah,
used Koa before.
I don't think a lot of people use it. I think literally our project is, uh, like Strappy. I think we keep that Koa library going. It's pretty good. It's just not like widely adopted. I mean, I like it, but Express is just so popular. I gotta build some stuff with Express. I've been like so lazy because you know selfless plug like Strappy, it allows you to create it's basically headless CMS, and it allows you to spin up an API like so quickly. And
Mhm.
for majority of use cases, it's pretty good because it's like really customizable. You could create your custom controllers, routes, middleware policy, all this like great stuff without having to like build your own like Express server.
Yeah, I remember doing that. The Strappy stuff on a live stream with you. It's pretty easy to kind of build an API and stuff.
Yeah, and for like and again, everything is depending on like a use case, but there's definitely uh, place and time for using it.
All right, so I've been just trying to do a little bit of setup, but I did put a .env file here, and that has the key. So now that should be hidden. Hopefully I don't expose it on my stream, but I can always just revoke it.
Yeah,
Um, but the idea is that the extension would probably need to make a request to like our server, and our server probably needs to do something. So
yeah. So we need to have an endpoint. Yep, to
I
where we
don't know what we
go
should call
to
it, but
get super secret API key.
I just want to make sure this works, and then I'll let you like start navigating again. npm run dev. Let's see if this works. It's running. Let's make sure we can hit localhost something. I don't. Oh, I don't. Did I call listen? Yeah, I did. Okay, so it did a request. We got success. Yeah. What do you want to do next?
So the next step would be hitting that Express server from our Chrome and seeing if we could get the response back. So I
Okay.
guess ChatGPT 3, you could ask, how would I get hit an external API in order to get some data back inside my Chrome extension. And you could say provide code example, I guess.
Code example with comments,
Yeah, and
please.
completely
Oh,
like
sorry.
slightly off topic. Do you use Axios or do you prefer using Fetch, or do you have no preference?
I've been using Fetch.
Yeah.
Voided in the chat. So I don't plan to commit the key anywhere. I'm putting the key in a .env file and I have it get ignored. And the key is going to be ran on the server side. So hopefully I don't commit it to that repo at all. But I'll probably revoke it anyway. Yeah, you want to just try this code?
Yeah.
Okay, my timer is up though, so I should probably.
Yep. Just throw it there.
Where should we put it?
Was that like inside a function? Yeah.
It's its own thing, but we could wrap it if you want.
Yeah. Wrap it in a function.
Get thing.
Get thing. Throw that in there.
Let me commit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll say adding. Let me add a sample file here as well. So that if you were to check this out, you know what the key needs to be replaced as.
Yep.
Adding a backend API to secure the open API key. Hi, am I good to share your screen on the stream?
Yeah, you could do that. Sounds good. So now, okay, we got that. Let me look at my code here. Yep, I get pull extension. Yep, here we go. Here's our server. All right.
I'll start your timer. I would say run the server locally. So like make a new terminal and CD into that server thing. Okay.
Yep. Let's see. Server. Was it just like a node, or did you do a script in there? I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, it's npm run dev.
Okay, npm run dev. Oh, I don't have nodemon installed.
Oh, you got to do npm install first so that it gets.
Oh yeah, that's true. I always forget that step. Oh, dev. Okay, so the server is running. Okay, and then we have parse something, get a thing. So the function is there. So do you want me to like just put that inside the button click?
Yeah, go ahead and run get thing and then see if you can console log the text that comes back.
Yeah, that thing.
I would convert
to async await.
Yeah, actually scroll down a little bit.
So because we're using a promise, but
yeah, I would delete lines 53 through 56. Like the extra dot then, we don't need that. Also the catch, I don't think we need. Yeah. And then I would scroll up. Can you put an async inside the callback function on line 3?
Event function
Yeah.
async.
And then put, like, let's just go ahead and call that get thing and then like get the results and console log it.
Yep. So we're returning. Yeah, so we're returning the response. So const response equals await response. Okay, I think that's good. So let's give it a try. Reload. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Load unpack has removed everything. Extensions, select, refresh. Go to here. Open our. Oh, you gotta be.
Well, you have to unpin it now.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. The struggle is real, people.
If only,
Pin.
if only AI could control our computers too.
Yeah. Console log. The hell is it? A console log here. So we have that. Let's click me. Blah blah blah. Response success. So that works.
Cool. I would say the code that I wrote is sloppy. Like, can we rename some stuff? Like, instead of get thing, could we say summarize text? Like, yeah.
So we're gonna put all that logic here. Okay, summarize text. I didn't summarize text. Good. Do you want to? Should this be like a sync await in your mind, or are you okay with using this?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's actually, if you want to, we can change the async await. It might be easier to manage.
Yeah.
See.
So what did you like? Try put it inside. Try. Can turn response equals fetch. Another question I have for you: do you like using just like regular function keywords, or do you like using arrow functions most of the time? And if so, like, do you have a particular time you use arrow functions over function keyword?
I've been trying to get more into like using the actual function keyword on functions. I
Yeah,
used to do arrows for everything, and then I don't know. It's not really a strong opinion on it. I just feel like having the function keyword, it's just a larger piece of text that you can just scan through and see and
yeah.
instantly know this is a function versus like the arrow. It's a little bit harder for my eyes to catch
The
that.
one thing I think I found with arrow functions, I think when you use function keywords, I forgot what the proper name for it, but it gets moved to the top. Like, so if you, let's say, define a arrow function, and then you call it, you have to call it afterwards. Where like function keyword, you could define anywhere on your screen, regardless of when you call it. I think.
Yeah,
So
the
I like
whole
those things.
hoisting thing.
Yeah, hoisting. That's the word. Yeah. So I think this looks good. Almost. Yep. So,
Yeah.
uh, what's next?
So I would scroll up to line 6 and make sure that you call summarize text, or
Oh,
top
yeah.
line 5 actually.
That is absolutely right.
And then let's add a parameter to summarize text so that we can actually pass in the page contents.
Yep. So this is going to be text. Not very original, but yep. So, and then inside here, hold on, click, we're page content. I guess we should return this into text. Parse page content. We're going to pass text. Bar. just console logging of a paragraph for each. Nope. So this is return stringify. So page content. We do return here. Page content. I think that would work. And then I'm just gonna go inside here, do console, summarize this text. It's good. Let's see if that still works. I'm very good at making changes to the code and then having it stop working. It's like I'm really good. Like I'm very proficient at that. Let me open, oops, inspect, not help. I mean, I do need help, but that's a different type of help. So let's click an expected token is not valid JSON. So do I, yeah, hold on a second. Why would it?
What is a token? That's success?
So it says unexpected token S and success is not valid JSON.
Oh, it's because our backend is returning text, not JSON.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, I would change the backend to just do a res.json instead.
so respond send. So respond JSON.
Yeah, JSON, and then you have to give it, let's just give it an object that says like summary, colon, some string.
Summary text. So the idea here, just so I follow, so we're going to use this server to call the OpenAI API. We're not going to do it directly inside of our extension. And this is just going to return the completed summary rather than just returning the API key.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So this will be completely, yeah, that's cool. I like this. This is nice. Okay, so.
And for those in the stream who don't understand why we did that, like ChatGPT charges you every time you make a request, right? So if we leak our API key and someone gets it, they could potentially rack up a bill of like thousands of dollars by just writing a script and abusing our key.
Jesus.
So that's why you always want to make sure these keys never get leaked, because that would not be a good time.
Yeah, and that is definitely a really good tip. And I'm glad that I came on stream today to kind of hear you say that, because thousands of dollars to OpenAI because you leaked a key.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to revoke all my keys that I used before and then like rethink like where I'm using them.
No, I got a story if there's time. Like, I have a video on it too, where I was playing around with AWS and I had an admin key.
Yeah.
So like permission to do whatever you want in Amazon. I committed that to a public repo, and within like 5 minutes, there's bots that actually go and check every repo out there that's public. They grabbed my key, they spun up like 10 of the biggest EC2 instances, which cost like hundreds of dollars an hour. And I had a $3,000 bill within an hour on AWS. But luckily AWS caught it for me, turned off my account, and then didn't make me pay for any of that money. But if AWS wasn't that kind, I would.
That is so good. Which is like very important lesson. I suck at AWS, but like the first lesson I learned about is like they have an option to set limits of how much you want to get charged. Definitely do that for all your services, just in case. But to have a limit to manage that, because I can't imagine that $3,000. Jesus Christ. So yes, we're getting our text from our API. That's fantastic. So what's next step? You're navigating still, right? Yeah.
Actually, yeah, the timer did go off. Let's see. Do you want to do one more thing before you switch?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine.
Okay. So you said the front end, the extension made the request successfully?
Yeah, so we are getting this as a summary of text in our Chrome extension.
Okay. Let us go back to ChatGPT and ask, let's ask it, how do I make a request to the Open API or Open AI, what'd you call it? Chat completion? Text
Yeah,
completion?
text. How do I make a request? Uh, to open API text, open AI API text completion inside an Express project. Should have an M in there somewhere. Okay, to make a request to open AI, if you're looking for Express JS part, you need to set up Express application. Yep, we got that part. I probably should have mentioned that. Or node fetch to make API calls, step-by-step guide to Express. Create a new folder for your Express project. Okay, sounds good. Yep. I guess I should have told it that I already have a project running, but this is all helpful. It's like a review of how you would do that. Create a
Yeah, it's also kind of following the same approach that we took, so I think that's useful.
yeah, literally. I think it's literally looking in your repo right now and it's just copying and
Says
pasting the code you wrote, which is
text completion.
oh, that's kind of interesting. So
Does that seem like the right URL? You've messed with this text completion API, right?
I think that is correct. I'll check.
Yeah, let's try it out and see what happens. Yeah, so maybe copy this entire post request into our server.
Yeah. And so app.post allows you to, because I'm not super familiar with Express, but that's like the included method that allows you to make requests. So like you don't have to use fetch directly. Or no, it's still doing Axios here. So I'm
Yeah,
kind of, oh,
app.post is just registering a post endpoint.
okay. Yeah, gotcha. So, yep, got it.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure how you do it in Happy. I'm guessing you have an object that has like a method
Yeah.
string or something. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. So blah, blah, blah. Let's express card app get something. So right now we're making a get request for my extension. So basically, we're going to be making a post request instead. Wait. No, hold on a second. Yeah. Never mind. I'm just thinking out loud. So basically, response JSON. Yeah. So instead of having app get something, we're going to make a change to make a post request to text completion where we're going to pass our text that we have. And then this is going to call this and make it happen. And for now, I think that's fine. So inside our Chrome, we need to change it to this. And now I have to basically do method post headers JSON, and for body JSON string 5 prompt text and the text that makes sense. And then in theory inside here, request body dot prompt. So that should, so let's console dot log prompt. Then that's going to be sent here, and it's going to fail because at the moment I'm not providing the OpenAI key, which I guess I could.
Could you rename Open API key to just Open API underscore key? That's how I named it in the .env.
OpenAI underscore key.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Let me kind of, yeah, let me add the key here. I'm just going to take this off screen for just a moment. Hold on. So that way we could just right away have some stuff here. 1 second. So new
Yeah,
file.
make sure you post it in. I don't know if you have a .env file locally. You might have to make one.
Yeah. So I'll do that. .env file. I should make sure it's inside that server folder. Then I'll have to make sure not to share my screen, because then I'll have to quickly go and disable the. I'll be on point. I'll be like, all right, disable this key, create new secret key, copy. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just take
I'll-
your screen off stream for right now, but you let me know when I can share it again.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, I think when you make a request and you get the console log of the full request, it still shows your like API key in the response, which is kind of interesting. But it doesn't. I don't think it like. Hold on a second. But we'll see what happens. And I could always like revoke it instantly, not give people a chance. So my server's running. Let me close that for a second. Okay, I think I'm ready to get back.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see here. So basically, I added my API key. We made all the changes, and in theory, everything should work, but it probably won't. Let me just close
You
this
need to
message.
npm install Axios.
Oh, that's right. They're using Axios and not using Fetch. Can I just rename that to Fetch and that would just still work? No. Actually, no, it wouldn't, because
I
you
don't
have to
remember
then.
if fetch is even on Node by default.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I used to use like Node Fetch. So yeah, npm install Axios. They also have like OpenAI CLI that you could use that makes it a little bit easier, but this is yarn npm run dev.
Oh, like an SDK or like
Yeah,
import. Yeah.
yeah. So that way, like it makes it like super easy. The endpoints already are preset, and you don't have to worry about stuff. So let's refresh here. Let's go here. Well, no, let's go here. Inspect. Console log. Hold on a second. Let me move my kitty. Oh, I know. I love you, but I can't right now. I gotta chill here underneath spot. Okay, let's see here. So we clicked text empty response. Response is undefined. We're
Do you know if our backend server crashed?
look right now. Yes, read proper separately. So request prompt broke it. Let's see here. Pop up local text completion. I think
Yeah, I think
doesn't
you're doing.
that looks right.
I think you're doing it right. I think the backend. Go to the express code. I think we have to say app.use somewhere.
Index.
Yeah, line 7. Could you say app.use and then parentheses express.json? Yeah,
Yeah, that
try that.
makes sense. And then restarts automatically. Fantastic. Let's reload. Let's go here. Click me. Console. Response error occurred while fetching completion. Maybe the URL is wrong. I don't know. Oh, Axios is not defined. Did I not import it? Axios. Axios. All these beginner mistakes, rookie mistakes here.
Yeah, it's making me miss TypeScript.
Yeah, I'm like in the process learning TypeScript. It's fun. Inspect.
Yeah, it's got a learning curve to it, but once you get over that curve, it's like I feel like you won't go back to JavaScript.
Yeah, I wonder if it's still like because they didn't click again. Response an error card while fetching completion. Object. Okay, yeah, still getting an error. What's the um? Let's
I
see,
mean,
I could. Let me look up like, is
scroll.
this is correct?
What do we get back? Like in that error in the bottom, does it actually say anything?
No, it doesn't say. I guess I could like stringify it.
Yeah, just do line 37, do error.message.
Error that message. Try that again. Fresh.
Someone in the chat said open API key. I wonder if we don't have it set correctly.
Yeah, logic error and error code while fetching completion. Is that
Uh,
the message? That's a terrible
Go back to
message.
the server console. That should have the right.
It's access.
I wonder why I printed all that stuff. It was supposed to just print a single string.
Prompt is undefined.
Oh, rec.body.prompt. Post at text completion.
Making a post request. Yep. We're let me just do
Go to someone's saying we typed in open API key instead of open AI key. Like if you scroll down to line 28.
open
Oh,
AI key.
what do we call it in? Oh, in the .env file. Can you do that off? I'll stop sharing your thing actually.
Yeah.
That works too. Did we call it open API or open AI?
Open API key. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it. Yeah, 1 second. That makes sense.
Thank
Good
you, chat.
eyes, chat. Good eyes.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Seeks Truth
I get that. There you go.
and also John Michael Perez. Perez.
it in my streams, everybody's like, "You spelled download wrong." That's why it's not working. I'm like, thanks, chat. I would have never caught it. I literally have spell check in my VS Code now. There's an extension that does that. That's I'm like, that's useful. That's useful for me.
Yeah. If you want to drive up engagements on your streams, just do stuff like that on purpose. Like make simple mistakes and then everyone will blow up your chat.
Yeah, it's funny. And yeah, it's kind of hilarious because like you could share my screen again. I'll try it out in a second. But you say I get like squigglies now whenever something. It's like it's not a real word, unknown word. So like I'm like
Oh, nice. I should install that too.
I'm like save that. That's fine. Don't show me any more squigglies. I'm still having like when I do TypeScript and I have this other extension. I don't know if you saw the inline errors that I get. So actually let me see what the hell is it called. I forgot. Code. Well, so code spell checker is the one that I use for the spell check, but then error lens. I don't know if anybody used this extension here. If you're learning TypeScript, like install error lens and you will just see so much red that's going to make you like so upset with yourself. But at the same time, like it's a good like indicator to kind of see like things that you have to fix and change. So at the beginning, if you're starting to learn TypeScript, it's like everything is red, but it does help you to catch stuff way faster. It's a pretty cool extension. If you haven't tried it, so okay, let's try making the call
Yeah.
again.
I use error lens on my setup. I think it's like the one at one point everyone kept asking me the same question, like what extension do you use that shows those errors on the page?
Yeah, that's so awesome. I discovered it recently. Inspect console. Okay, it's still complaining.
And in the .env, you called it AI key or open API key? Like on line 28, does that match?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll double check quickly again because now I'm having doubts. Like it's like
I mean,
yeah,
maybe
because it's the same. I wonder if like the URL is correct, but I mean like what is the error we're getting here? Because it's just
By the way, when you get to a stopping point, do you want to commit and we can switch again?
Yeah.
I think your timer ran out a while back.
Sounds good. Let me do that. Control C, clear. C, get, add, get. I think we're almost there. Get commit. Message. Text. Add that naming stuff. Get push. All right, there you go.
Cool. Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, I would probably check the endpoint that we're calling. I'm gonna at the same. Well, I mean, I think the endpoint is correct, but just double check.
I'm trying to. By the way, I am going to rename it to OpenAI _ key.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me go ahead and start my timer. And then I probably have to remove my extension. And then I'm going to.
Yep. Do all that nice stuff. Yeah, and all my like previous example, I just used the OpenAI CLI because that makes it like a little bit easier. But what is the kind of curious what the I'm gonna look at the docs if we are using the proper
Let's fail a status code prompt.
URL.
Yeah, I'm going to load up the network tab and see.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Although, why is it open it on a. No, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, it's just not sending anything over in the payload. So it's
so
making the
like
request.
we're not getting anything in the prompt.
Yeah, so let's go to their extension code. And we call summarize text here. That should be some text. We must be passing undefined here. Oh, I meant to mention this when you're typing this out. So like this parse page content does a callback inside of a callback inside of a callback. So we can't just return here.
Oh, that is so silly.
So I'm going to return a new promise. And we are just going to
Good call.
resolve.
Because it will always be, because it's
now we can
sync.
Hopefully this does something now.
Yeah, that should do it because
probably need to refresh. Click this. Okay.
nice. So that's the prompt. That's the console log from the server. So now, and we are passing it.
Yeah. So we get the prompt. We
request 404.
Fail with status code 404. So OpenAPI is just not happy with what we're sending. Or OpenAI, I mean, I keep saying API for some reason. Do you think we should just go to the docs and look up? Like,
yeah, I would look up the URL in the docs because that's just doesn't seem right. It might be, but
completion text. Oh, here it is. OpenAI.com/completions post request. So then what's all this stuff it gave us with Da Vinci Codex? It must be something old.
Yeah, it's probably old because we did like I think we're inside. Oh, also with that being said, I think inside your object that we're passing, we need to also identify which model we want to use. I don't remember exactly. Um,
But this one
oh
is
yeah, right there, model text DaVinci. Yeah, you
Da
got it. So you
Vinci.
I got the changes. Nice. Yeah.
Do you know what, excuse me, do you know what temperature is and like,
I it's for now just like leave it the same. I have to read more about it, but it's like the randomness and like whatever like to do with what kind of response. Do you want it to give you exactly what you're looking for? Do you want it to be creative? I would suggest people read more about that. I have to do that as well. But you could like define like um also max tokens. If you don't pass enough tokens, it will give you cutoff response. So you would definitely want to have some sort of amount of tokens you want to use. And I think even if you say use like more tokens, it's still just going to use what you need. But you could set it like, I don't know what the, I mean, you could do 2048. I mean, that's probably,
what's a token? Is that like a word?
I think so. Yeah.
It defaults to 16. You want to try the default and see what happens?
Yeah. Yeah. I think 16 will give you like a little shorter response, but it's okay. We just want to get a response back.
Okay, reload. Am I console logging this? I don't want to run this and like we don't get it. Let me just, on the server side, I'll log the completion as well.
Yeah.
Report Toby Inc. for, yeah.
Nice. And
So,
then that's your 16 tokens right there.
okay, so let's make it. Do they charge you a lot per token or is it pretty cheap?
um, I don't think it's that much. Like as long as someone doesn't have your API key and they have a bot that just spams it, I guess. But like you could do like 1,000, see what happens. Yeah, because you only get charged for the tokens you used anyway.
Supposed to summarize it. So I guess what we need to actually do.
So inside like prompt, you would say your prompt plus the text. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you could like there's so much cool stuff you could do like with this with like the different prompts. I know like some people like pass like data tables or tables and then they ask like ChatGPT to make sense of the data, which is kind of like cool. Like all these interesting things you could do.
Interesting. So what do you want to do next? You're navigating.
So like now just let's test it out. I think this is it. I think this is gonna do this for us. And then if that works, which it should. Yeah, perfect. There you go. And then so now we just need to add the final thing is to display that text in our browser inside our Chrome extension. And so you can ask.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could ask ChatGPT-3, how would I render a response inside my Chrome extension UI, I guess. And I'm assuming it'll be just your basic set inner HTML, whatever. Hey, there you go. Something went wrong. That's like, you know, there you go. Oh no. Oh, thank God it saves it. But to be honest, like in the chat, I want to hear how long do you think this would take us to build if we use the docs versus we're 2 hours in about right now. I'm gonna say we could have done this 10 minutes using the docs. Let me know in the comments like what you think.
Yeah, for me, the server part of this would be like 10 minutes. The front end extension part, maybe 20,
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes, because like that's
If
something
you
new
don't,
I've
yeah,
never
if you've never
done.
done it before, yeah, if it's new. Dude, but I really like this idea of having, handling stuff like this with a token on the back end using a proxy server. Um,
Yeah, it's
a lot of times I'm like too quick to stuff logic into places that it probably shouldn't need to.
definitely a necessary thing to do in terms of security.
Yeah, no, that's a very good tip. Like, see, I'm glad you invited me on the stream because that was a very good lesson learned.
So they're just taking, like when the page loads, they do this. So on the pop-up, I added a response div. And then in the response they gave us, they said, get the response element. At some point, we'll get the text back. Which, do we return from the back end like a...
So I think in the back end we return everything. I wonder if we should just only return the text.
Oh, we return something called completion,
Okay, so
which is already... This is what
oh
ChatGPT...
yeah. So that's fine. We're only returning the final text. So perfect. So you could what's Chat GPT telling us to do once we return that response? Wait, got completion.
Inner text is equal to completion. Yeah, moment of truth. Let's see if this works. Go back to my browser, reload, refresh. I kind of want to know if I need to like actually refresh these things or if it's just like...
I think only if you make changes to like the manifest file. Look at that. That is so beautiful. That is so wonderful. We did it. We did a chat. It only took us 2 hours.
This is cool though. I mean, you can go to literally any page.
That is so sweet. We actually made something useful. I'm only laughing because all my ideas for stuff that I built is so like not useful. This is like a big. I'm making progress.
It's like, do I want to read this article? Let's see if we want to read this article. It'd be cool to
Yeah.
add a spinner and stuff, but I mean, I think
Yeah.
the basics of all this. This is an
Yeah.
article about Magic Cloud's new release. It can be used to resurrect Alan Turing and assist with customer service or sales. It is powered by AI and has multiple features. So basically, this is a marketing post.
Yeah. Dude, this is so sweet. This is so much fun. I like the pair programming. It's good. It's a good learning experience too. So
yeah, it's crazy once you get into like the flow of it. I mean, I think we're doing it pretty good in this, but like you can have bigger groups. So like 4 developers. At one point, we've had a mob of like 7 developers, and we just keep on rotating out. So everyone's like super engaged, and the bigger the group, the more like strict you have to be, because when you have 7 people who all want to chime in with their opinion, like you don't get any work done.
yeah.
Which is why you have like the driver, the navigator, and then typically there's someone who's like the researcher. So his dedicated job is just Googling stuff while everyone else is trying to figure out a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis was saying this has opened my eyes to the possibilities. Kudos, which is kind of cool. But like I was gonna say, this opened up my eyes to that sometimes you're just better off looking at the docs and coding things right from what you read in the docs. Basically, that's the takeaway here. But and I think AI is definitely here to stay, but I think it's just another tool, and we're always going to need developers. Things may shift, over time, but I still think there's going to be, new jobs created. And if someone asked me today, everything based on like ChatGPT and where things are going, would you still consider switching careers into development and coding? And my answer would still be yes. And my daughter, like, she's in the Navy now. She's like on active duty. When she gets back, she's like gonna go back to school, and I'm literally telling her, like, get a computer science degree still, or if that doesn't interest you, like I'm like, get a math degree. Just because math is always good. But at the same time, like, I think she's going to go with computer science, which would be fun. I don't really care what she does as long as she does something she likes, but I'm still pushing her to jump into tech, you know?
Yeah, I
So
mean, it's definitely a great field to get into.
even
And
now with all the AI stuff, for sure.
yeah, I was curious. So instead of saying, please summarize the following blog post article, I was going to say, please um, read through this article for me and tell me if this seems like an article specifically for marketing someone
Nice.
service. 'Cause I feel like this is a marketing article here. Sign
Yeah.
up at hub.com or whatever. Let's try this.
Yeah. Like, we could make some cool little, like, add additional features to this plugin. This is going to be sweet.
Yeah, I mean the
No, this does not seem like you're wrong. Hey, God, no. This is totally a marketing article.
yeah, the first sentence, a couple of days ago, we published the latest release of ST Magic Cloud solution. Come on now.
You failed miserably, OpenAI. Sorry, but this is just not.
I mean,
I'm sure we could. Yeah,
it's an
like,
article about AI, so I think ChatGPT would
it's
probably want
biased.
you to read it.
Yeah, it's a little bit biased. Yeah, I get it. Patrick's saying, can you add a feature to copy to clipboard? That would be your chat's challenge. Take this GitHub and add whatever features you like and tell us what you did. But I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We actually made some progress. We got to show what really interacting with ChatGPT looks like, and people get to make their decision. Was it time saving, or was it not? I don't know. You get to decide based on what you witnessed on the stream.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I definitely had fun with the stream. I'm
Oh, some
down
good times.
to do another pair programming session if we can think of another cool idea to
Yeah, no,
build on the stream.
always down. For me, like, what's cool about this is that, like, I switched careers like really late in my life. Like, my first real dev job when I was like 39, and so I always have this struggle with still imposter syndrome, like really really hardcore. And I think engaging more in pair programming definitely helps with that, because it's good to hear feedback and you get to learn new things. And honestly, like, based this experience with you today, like, I feel like any place that offers pair programming, I think they're doing something right. And I think if you work at a company where maybe you don't have that much opportunity to do so, like, definitely ask. I think this is so useful and so good because it just lifts everybody up as a developer, and you'll never have these developers that work like in silos because they don't want to teach you anything because they're afraid that the more they share with you, the more replaceable they're going to be, which made no sense. But I worked at a company like that where the main developer, the code that he wrote, number one, he would overcomplicate it all the time so people can't understand it, because he wanted to make sure that he had his job security, and he would always hide things. And so it didn't create a good environment to work at.
Yeah, and I mean I think the key is always just try to increase collaboration because
Yeah,
that's how you reduce like risk. You don't want someone to work on something for three weeks and then you realize what they're working on like is completely wrong.
yeah,
This is why we do like the morning stand-up stuff. If you do like Agile and Scrum, so we can all kind of like agree and like figure out what we're working on if you guys are blocked. But it's like, why not just meet and actually work together every day? And since a lot of people work remote, the best way to do that is just sit on a Zoom all day. Hold on. Like I think at our job, we typically have a permanent Zoom link. It's like the meeting ground. So anyone can just come to the town square and just like get a breakout room and start working together on whatever they want. And then you'll have like 5 user stories or tasks that are being worked on in parallel. So you have like different squads that are kind of working on these different features together. And if you feel like you need a break from who you're working with, you just leave and you go join someone else, or just go and work heads down a little bit. Sometimes you can't work all day with someone because it's just exhausting. Um, but yeah, pair programming definitely recommend. Or
yeah, good stuff. Fun.
yeah, Any other final questions you have, Paul, or want to
No,
talk
I
about?
just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. It's always fun. Learn a lot. Very important tip about hiding your API keys. I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
no, it's great. I'm always down anytime, and I do appreciate like. And I just want to say, like, watching you on this journey and seeing your channel like grow. Like, congrats. Like, I know how much work it takes, and what I like about your channel is that there's so many channels out there that give opinions and do like talking head videos, but you literally have a channel built on coding, like, and you provide so much value. And I think it's important to have it in this space because it's so easy to find a YouTuber who happens to be a YouTuber and maybe not a developer anymore, or maybe like, it's just hard to get the right information. And so I always enjoy watching like people that don't make like there's nothing wrong with making courses or like having a YouTube channel, but I like people that work as developers that happen to have YouTube channels rather than predominantly being on YouTube. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I just feel like you do need to kind of be connected to that space at some way rather than just doing YouTube because that's where you get the useful information. And to see your channel like grow and blow up is to me is amazing because you're definitely doing something right. Because if I look at the type of videos I make on my channel, all my like technical videos don't do as good as like stupid talking head videos where I give opinions because that's what people are interested in. But I don't want to just make talking head videos. I want the stuff to be like more technical and to kind of see how you did it on your channel. It's like pretty inspiring, and you do like amazing work. So really awesome.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the feedback and the kind words. And keep on doing the great stuff on your channel. I like just toning in and listening to the funny stuff that you have to say, like that stream yesterday with the April Fool's joke. Like, I think you should become an actor because
Oh man, I tried to keep a straight face. I think I did pretty good, but like, yeah, it was so funny. But I literally had like I made an announcement on the stream before that, saying how I'm quitting coding, and somebody literally was like, "Oh my god, that's so terrible. Why are you doing it?" Because I said it's because of ChatGPT, and like it was kind of interesting because it confirmed to me that there are actually people that are quitting to code because they're afraid that it's no point because of the AI tooling that's coming out. And I'm like, no, it's the opposite. 100% keep coding, keep learning, don't stop.
yeah, it's unfortunate to hear people are actually getting discouraged because of like AI, but I mean, I would say just watch through the stream and it's like it wasn't easy. Like you have to be a developer to understand what the AI is telling you to do. At some point it might reach a point where like you can just point it to a repo and tell it to add features. And that's when I'd actually start being legit worried for jobs because I don't know.
Yeah.
Until it reaches that point though, because I don't know if it can actually like innovate or if AI just literally copies and pastes stuff that it finds online together.
Well, yeah, I think it's literally just like copies and pastes and predicts what it thinks the right thing, but it will never come up with like a new like thing that never existed, which is kind of interesting. I've been playing with Midjourney a lot, and after like I generate so many images, and you could start to kind of see patterns in the type of images you get, and you're like, oh, it's actually not being very original at all. Like there's underlying data that it's using to create those images. And to me, like the question that I actually did have is about specifically to code generated with AI, who has ownership of that and how do you define it? And I know like they're saying that it's trained on public GitHub repos, but I'm kind of curious about that. Like what happens if you write code with ChatGPT, like, and you happen to use some code that is not supposed to be public, and they were able to identify that somehow.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want your code potentially leaked, then I would say don't use it for your
Yeah.
private repos.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're on a public repo and it's like it's already public, so
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. One interesting thing, like just completely like off topic, I heard about OpenAI has been trained on all the public data, and a lot of universities that have like really cool research data, apparently they store that on internal like network that's not open to the public. So what's interesting is I see like a cool use case for AI is people creating training models on like those proprietary data and creating services that do like really cool, useful stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's exciting where this is going.
Yeah, are you deciding to like niche down on this AI topic a little bit for your channel? Like,
I want to, because I want to definitely demystify this idea that developers are 100% going away soon. And I want to empower people to just understand the tooling and use it to their advantage to study. So I definitely want to make more content around using AI to become a better developer. And it's something that I'm trying to do. And it's a really good, the best use case that I found for it, not kind of like what we did today of like actually solving a problem, but I find it useful to use it as a rubber ducky, or like a buddy to bounce ideas in the project that I'm trying to think through. And that way, like, regardless it gives me right or wrong answers, like I'm getting a starting point that I could explore on my own, like through docs or trying stuff in the code to figure things out. So it's like a great learning tool. And I've been discovering things like, for instance, like the YouTube, like YT download library. Like I would have never found it, like if I didn't ask, like I had a conversation with ChatGPT, and I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. So like for discovery and learning, I think it's awesome.
okay, yeah, I mean that'd be like, oh yeah, let me share something I did. Remember that
Oh
icon
yeah, yeah,
generator
yeah, yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Dennis Gurr. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "I am a newbie, and you help me to understand to do." So yeah, I definitely appreciate the super chat. Let me read through some other comments. Someone said, "Cody, you just push your .env." I checked. I didn't see it. I mean, I went ahead and revoked my token, and I suggest Paul just revoke your token just in
Yep.
case.
I'll do that now.
Let's see, super chat character limit is awful, but I hope you get what I mean. Yep. How important is it for you to upskill? I'm sorry, I can't read right now. How important is it for you upskill to be able to train and work on AI? And then the follow-up question is every other company going to have their own personal AI in the future? I mean, I think it's important to at least start getting used to these tools. I think Paul's mentioned this multiple times, but I do think that the frontier of coding is kind of changing. And like at some point, this AI stuff is going to be like critical to be productive, or to be like more productive than like going and Googling and going and searching through 10 different Google links and then going to GitHub issues and trying to find the issue you're looking for. If something like ChatGPT can just tell you like exactly what you're looking for, then like that productivity gain is like incredible. So I think to start playing around with ChatGPT, even Copilot. I know is Copilot still paid, or did that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's still paid. I did hear if you contribute to open source projects and you could show that, like you could get it for free, I believe.
Okay. So at the very least, ChatGPT 3 is free. You saw us using it. I was using the free version. Um, is every other company going to have their own personal AI in the future? I mean, I think it's going to take years for the people to adopt this because, I mean, it's going to cost their company money for them to set up some type of model. But I can foresee if you work at a big company and you have a ton of documentation on a project or like HR documents, if you could train a model that learns about all of your internal documents and you can just ask AI, hey, what is the protocol for when I leak a security credential? And it tells you exactly what to do, who to talk to, who in HR to call. Like, I think that would be really, really useful because right now, like at most companies, if you need information, you have like a website that has like all these different links. It's just kind of confusing. Um, that's kind of where I see AI being really useful. How about
Yeah,
you,
that
Paul?
Yeah, same, makes sense. And what I would say, like this whole idea why I'm trying to kind of do more content around AI, because I think like like everybody's different. Like for instance, I have a friend, he's like an AI researcher, just something he likes. I don't even have the brain capacity to do what he does. And so like it's not like the that level of AI work that I even interested in doing. But for me, like as a developer, I wanna at least know like the speak, if you will, the language, and know what models are available to me if I want to do something cool, like hey, I could implement this model to accomplish this goal, or I could do this. So I think wherever you are in the spectrum as a developer, just being aware of all the AI tools you have and all the different models that you could use to solve different things. I think definitely like something people should kind of focus moving forward.
Here's a good question. Don't you think there would be essential knowledge missing with the more and more use of AI? Um, yeah, that's kind of a something that's concerning. I mean, you're seeing people in colleges right now like just basically solve all their homework using ChatGPT. And at some point it's like you're really shooting yourself in the foot because
Yeah.
the point is you need to improve your ability to problem solve and think critically. And if you just use this as a crutch to like, pass your tests and just like cheat, like sure you might be able to get stuff done, but in the long term like scale of things, I think you're just I don't know. I don't know how to phrase this. How about you, Paul?
Yeah, just to kind of same sentiment as you have. I feel like the most important skill that we could have, regardless as a developer or anybody else, is to continue honing our ability to think critically and think about solving problems. And if you get accustomed to using Chat GPT all the time as a crutch, you're going to lose that ability. And I think it's, and you're going to lose it without even realizing, because I caught myself of this because my internet went down and I couldn't use ChatGPT 3. And I was like, oh, I actually have to think about this stuff now. And so it's kind of funny how that works. And so for me, like I want to, in my mind frame, like, hey, ChatGPT is a tool, but with that tool comes great responsibility to continue to improve your ability to think on your own and think through problems. And try not to get to a point where you become dependent on ChatGPT 3 or 4 or 5, 6, whatever comes out next. I think that would be an important thing to keep mindful.
Yeah, I mean, I share a same story. I used GitHub Copilot when it was first in like beta, and they let a bunch of people use it for free. And I used it for like 2 or 3 months, or I don't know how long it was free for until they like turned off and turned on the paywall. But I ended up manually just turning it off because I'm like, dude, I can't even type. There's some things that I used to be able to just like type automatically, and now it's like I sit here waiting for 5, 10 seconds for Copilot to tell me what to do, and then it gives me something wrong, and I'm like, I feel like my productivity in a sense went down on certain things, but it increased on other things. Like if I wanted to learn a new language in Go and I have no idea how to write like Go or Rust, like that's where Copilot really shines because I can just load up a Rust script and just saying like write me an if statement. And then Copilot will tell me how to write an if statement. And I can kind of learn from that. But if you're like saying if you know how to write an if statement already, I wouldn't say Copilot write me an if statement that does this. I would
Yeah.
just type it
Yeah.
because you've already learned it. I would say use ChatGPT as like a teacher in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the right way to look at it.
Let me share something with you. So you said you've been playing around with like stable diffusion. What's the one called? Midjourney.
Yeah, there's Midjourney. I set up like Stable Diffusion locally too. I didn't have as much time to play with it. I played a little bit around yesterday, so I literally pulled the model locally and uh, play around with like image generation and discovering it's not as easy as Midjourney makes it work. So kudos to that team.
Yeah. So this is something I built just so I can get exposure to like how Dolly works in the open API. This is like my first avenue into like getting into this AI stuff. So it's a site where you can log in and buy credits. This is integrated with Stripe. And once you buy credits, you can go in here and type in something. You can select a color, you can select an icon style and a shape, and you basically tell Dolly how many images you want. And when you click generate images, I don't have any credits right now, but it will basically generate a bunch of icons for you
Yeah,
based on the
sweet.
prompt. And the cool thing is, like, I didn't do any of the AI stuff, right? It just, you look at this site and you're like, oh, this is so cool. And it's like, dude, all I'm doing is calling an API and storing images in S3 and showing them to you.
Yeah.
But from a external perspective, like they don't know that. They just found a cool site that they can use to generate random icons about
And
zebras.
And just to be honest, and a lot of people don't think about that as developers, just it's different because no consumer cares how this site works on the in the back end. All they care
Yeah.
about is like they get cool icons. And as a developer, like you have to remind yourself is that it's not so much how you implemented stuff. Like even if you didn't have to make a model, you don't have to train the model. You just combine a bunch of services that solve that problem that people were looking for. And that's kind of like uh, the thing that I want to say is that um, it's not kind of like how you do something, because people who are non-developers, they don't care. They just care about, hey, look at this website that does the thing that I wanted to do. And as developers, I think that's kind of cool if you're able to stand on shoulders of giants and create like a site that you just created to solve a business. And this is why I'm excited about AI, is because I'm just going to have cool tools and opportunities to figure out creative ways to create little like solutions for businesses or SaaS products. And that's actually like really, really cool. Um,
And I would say, like, if you like, this is to you, Paul, if you could spend more time like learning about how do you make these models and like fine tune them, because what I've noticed like from the icon generator stuff is like if you can actually like scope it so that it's smarter and like it can actually like give you better results. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I mean, I'm sure it's not too hard. Um, but actually like getting a model and fine tuning it for exactly what you need. Like for example, if my icons, instead of it being random, if I had a certain artistic style I wanted those icons to look like, I could train an actual model that makes it look like pixelated, or I could train my own model that makes it look like it was, sketched by a 7-year-old or something. And then you can actually have like a really unique product that only
yeah.
you trained, and you can sell that like model or the prompt that was used to generate the model.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And it's kind of interesting that you mentioned it, because it's like the same thought I had. And I don't know anything about that side of like AI, but I do find the value of going that extra step instead of just using like the models that exist, is learning how to, fine tune them to answer or have a more specific thing that you want to accomplish. And if people know that and they have that development skills, I think they could create amazing things. Yeah, it's pretty something that I want to continue to do.
Cool. Okay, so I'm about to wrap up the stream, but I have one last thing uh, for you, Paul. I think you mentioned a while back that my channel's kind of been blowing up a little bit, and I think YouTube Shorts was like the one thing that really brought people to my channel. Um, so I mean, I would say like if you start diving more into this AI stuff and you can make 60-second shorts that really teach like, oh, this is how you connect to AI, or this is how you can have it summarize something, or this is what you need to do to set up a quick little Chrome extension. I think those can bring in a bunch of traffic to your channel.
Nice.
That's my only recommendation. I've seen a bunch of success from that. I'm not sure if you're even looking for feedback, but
No, of course, anytime. Like I definitely want to get, I'm not saying like I want to be a YouTuber, but it'll be nice to have more people,
yeah, I
but
mean,
yeah.
try it out. It's definitely making shorts is like a harder mindset to do, because it's like, how can you talk about something in 60 seconds? But when you actually can find a good system for, cranking out shorts, and
Yeah.
you do some every couple of days, it's like that's the first thing they see in the morning is they see your short, and then they come to your channel and watch stuff.
Yeah, no, that's the idea. I'm definitely gonna do that. I was kind of on the fence. I wasn't sure, like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? But hearing you say this and other people that I watch, that's kind of. I'm like, man, now I have to make shorts just to stay competitive on YouTube. But it is what it is. Gotta evolve.
Cool. Well, actually, let me share your YouTube channel because I don't think I've even done that yet. But if you have any final questions or remarks,
No, just accept this was like super awesome. Always down. Really had fun, like pair coding. This is a great time. Thank you to all the people in the chat for hanging around. And it was really awesome. And that's it.
cool. So everyone who is still here, I probably should have done this halfway through the stream since everyone dropped off. But go check out Coding After 30. He has a YouTube channel where he publishes a lot of good videos. He does live streams on Friday and Saturday. Is that right?
Yeah. Friday, 9 p.m. US Central Time, and then Saturday, 11 a.m. US Central Time.
Awesome. And I'll put the link to his channel there.
Yeah, and if you ever, all of you who think you're too old to switch careers, listen, that's the whole point of the channel, is to kind of let people know, hey, don't lose hope. It's possible. I literally started learning to code in my mid 30s, and I didn't get my like real tech job at 39. I'm not saying like it would take people that long to do, but the fact that I could do it, like I really believe that everybody else could do it. And if you're younger, you're already ahead of the curve. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Nice. So, yep, check him out. He's got some good. Paul's got some wise words, some wisdom for how to get into coding. Yeah, I had fun. I'll send you a message when I'm good to like do another stream, and
Yeah,
maybe we
yeah,
can think of
perfect. That
another
was
cool
really
idea.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Always fun.
All right, later, everyone. Thank you so much
Hey,
for joining.
thanks everyone. Take care. Bye.